That's a big smile, so it looks like it might be an Urgot angle.
Well, looking at the combo that you're seeing, he brought
Baby!
this is not the first time we've seen this from Evi. He's brought this pick out with a Trundle as well during playoffs, so this is a guy with a very large champion pool. He's one of the main reasons you can call DFM so versatile, because they can play for the bot lane, they can play for wacky picks in the top side as well, and well, this is most certainly one of them.
Lane Lillia has been unleashed here for Evi. An absolute treat. So annoying. Like, so unbelievably annoying if she can just prance around you and queue you forever and ever.
And most certainly, I'm kind of just trying to grasp what the two team compositions are looking for, because you have the team fighting tools. You can see it in all of them. But there's definitely also long-range pick potential from the side of Detonation FocusMe due to the fact that you have that Vex, you have that Kai'Sa. You don't always have to be the one making the first move. You just have to be around the area to have a counter response. And I think that gives them some extra pressure to work around with from their side, where beyond gaming, their team composition, it's very much about throwing yourself in there and having the Aphelios in the backline.
Yep. Got an Amumu ult to steal from the Sylas, got Maokai ulti, got Gnar ulti once he transforms. Plenty of tools for Beyond Gaming to find fights. Leona obviously as well. Should be a fun one here.
Most certainly, and also just from the stakes point of view, Detonation FocusMe really needing to get a few games in there to get out of the relegation zone. And of course, the same thing can be said from Beyond, who's sitting at 1-1 currently. So opportunities for DFM to get ahead if they're able to win this one.
Yeah, group getting pretty tenuous in general, especially with Fnatic losing to Loud, right? I mean,
oh yeah,
Beyond's win was against Loud on day one, which now thinking about it, okay, well, even that game was in Loud's hands at some point.
Most certainly, and even for DFM as well, the losses they've had, one was against the best team in the tournament so far, or at least the best team in that group. The other one was against Fnatic. So they've had a rough start as well in terms of what they've had to work with. But now, looking to be a bit aggressive with what they have in the early game. We've seen this before with an Amumu. They'll go around the tri-boss, they'll throw in a blind queue, see if anyone's in there, and then the team members will go in and see if they caught anything. It's like blind fishing.
I can't wait for the next level where you just stack 5 people in the one brush.
And you wait for Amumu to get in there,
yeah.
Yes. You should be an analyst.
There you go. That's the next level of level 1s. I've seen a lot of level 1s in my time, let me tell you.
Yeah, I've seen a few, but unfortunately my memory is not always the best in that regard. Now, Yaharong has actually opted in for the first strike since he's playing into the Sylas, so possibilities for you to get a bit more gold in there. Could have gone for Futures Market as well in terms of just finding your items power spike so quickly because you go first strike, but not going to be the case this time around. And otherwise than that, looks pretty standard. Conqueror and Lillia is always what you go for when you're playing it up in that top side, looking for the extended team fights, in and out, prancing around. You know how it goes.
Yep, doesn't need the phase rush. Happy to try and oppress the lane 1v1, so Likai is going to try and keep it under wraps with the fleet. Best of luck though, Evi is quite the menace and always has some fun picks this game, no exception. Yutapon though, back on the old Kai'Sa. See how it does here in the 2v2 early on as the teams face up.
So far, Wako is not really using the Calibrum to get these extra auto attacks in on Yutapon, and that's allowing the DFM bot lane to actually get pushed. So, of course, hitting level 2 before Leona, super happy about it.
A little glacial action there out of Harp, getting in aggressive. Takes a bit too much damage on the other end, but not too perturbed.
Yeah, so you trade HP from the AD carry and exchange for the support instead. Now, Beyond is about to hit level 2 when the 2 melee minions falls down here. You can actually see it's a big battle in between them both. They both want to have it to go for a potential engage immediately. And Jungler, at least from the side of Steel, is pathing down towards that bot side, with Husha pathing up towards that top side instead. Both the solo laners of DFM are quite far forward, so there is a potential for Husha to get in here.
Every now and then, little sneaky Maokai gank here. Yaharong getting hit by the first chain. Good fear. Kicking the other 2 out. Doesn't have to commit the flash, so nice little escape there for Yaharong.
This is going to give the Steel so much intel. He already has the red buff. He has a bot lane who kind of has a little bit of a push. Yaharong is still around the area. You're playing Trundle, the strongest level 3 between isolated junglers. He could look to get cheeky here with some counter jungling. He's not in there. Observers, reveal him!
There he is! Steel shows himself to Husha, gets the ward down, but nothing left to play for.
Well, red buff still active for the side of Husha, so that is gonna be an opportunity for him to get in and clean that up. So nothing stolen away, but Steel had a window, but I think the circumstances around him didn't facilitate it with Minji getting the push, and the same for the bot lane of Beyond.
Kino walking up means he walks away. Steel though at least trying to poke in there and get what info he can. Again, we are starting to see, I think, bit more adaptation around Maokai. So we see more and more Maokai games. He's starting to become a fixture of almost every game. So definitely do want to try and contain it when you can, because the tree 1v1 is fine. But early game especially not all that hot. I don't think we've seen top lane Maokai yet, by the way.
We have.
We have?
Under,
Perfect!
actually, on day one.
Bless my pick'ems!
So, yeah,
that was my only investment.
I put Seraphine in. I was like, oh, surely this will be played with a center lane, so that should be 3 in the mid lane, in the AD carry position, and with a center, but so far it's not happened.
There's still hope.
There is still hope. It's a long tournament. We're only just getting started.
Alrighty, Husha now doing a bit of baiting himself. Mostly just for vision, though. Gets the sapling down. That's going to be annoying for Steel. Actually, Husha really getting good info here. Now pops the Scry's Bloom. Sees not on the Krugs. He's going to try and steal them, I guess, is the next thing. I guess no.
Just going for the intel instead, but you can still look up towards the top side. Likai very close to hitting that mech, and there he goes.
Evi going to be okay. Spots the enemy jungle and says, yep, nothing you're doing here. Whack him.
Give him a little slap with the staff.
Spins around, no damage. Husha is going to help him push out here. And it should be resetting the top wave in short order. So very quiet first 5 minutes here, but... Ooh, I take it all back! Evi just straight in the face of the enemy team! Oh, the clock barely.
The sapling! Not enough
out.
damage at this point. And yeah, Evi almost going down to a boulder there. The extra movement speed, of course, gets him away from it. But that could have been very, very deadly with a big wave pushing in. He could have lost a lot of experience there.
One of the things about Maokai that's so great. You just click the button.
There's so many things about Maokai that's so great.
It's true.
Now, on the bot side, Beyond actually looking to get aggressive, but it's a big wave they would have to be fighting in with, so surely they'd lose an extended fight, and they realize that, they back away, but I was actually going to go back to the fact that the game is slow is actually quite good for the side of Beyond, because they are a team where they never really left the biggest mark of the game in their early game. It was usually in the mid game that they get active with their solo laners. And you can see it as well with the fact that Minji is playing the Sylas. You want to be there in the skirmishes. You want to be there when you steal away ultimates from level 6 and really leave your mark there. The same for Likai, of course, playing that Gnar in the top side. So I think as Beyond, you're quite happy about the way the thing's going so far.
Yeah, Aphelios, Maokai, Sylas all happy to scale up and just kind of vibe. Harp finding himself here in the mid lane, but maybe covering a potential counter. There is a lot of people here, actually. Yutapon also chilling in behind, not level 6.
Oh, but you can see it here. I actually think it's a good read because they know that the roam might come through. Spotted on a sweeper right now. Amumu coming around.
Harp just, no fear, goes in, find a bandage shots. Beautiful pillar out of steel. Kino the target, level 3, so much CC! Brute force for a first blood, but DetonatioN FocusMe find her. Husha, though, is going to turn it back around onto Yaharong because Minji Sas is dishing out the deeps. Still going to go down as well and make it 3! A double kill for the tree!
And there you have it. Good read by DFM initially to set up the play, but even better response coming through from Beyond to pick up the kills here. So great stuff for our representative from PCS.
Nicely done for Beyond Gaming. Yaharong TPing in on the Vex. As we check him on the top side, so far, Evi, even with some decent isolation in the lane, hasn't really been able to squeeze out too much of a lead just yet. We'll have to see how the Lillia counter pick kind of plays out as the lane goes on. But let's watch this one again, because like you said, first part looked real nice.
They spot each other in the sweep, but we of course didn't see that. We only have Beyond's point of view going into it, so Harp already had the information. They look for it immediately, and with the Yutapon around and Yaharong actually having the level 6 to go for the fight, they look for it immediately. They get baited in by the fact that they get the kill, so you have the reset coming through from the side of Yaharong should you decide to look for it. But the curse of the Sat Mommy being stolen away, and the instant flash coming through from Husha, with of course the the flamethrower together with the purple gun allows to just set up the CC afterwards.
Very nicely done. A classic of Sylas.
Gravity.
Stealing the Amumu ulti, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Good old gravity gun.
Yeah.
Actually, my first ever Sylas game. I walked down the bot lane at level 6,
yeah,
stole the enemy Amumu support's ultimate, and did almost exactly that.
Damn.
The bottom lane. It was great.
I mean, yeah, Amumu is also one of those champs. I used to coach a team, and one of the things that was meta back then was an Ashe. We played Ashe into Sylas once, and never did it again, due to the fact that the AP scalings on the Ashe ultimate, that was not fun to play again. So when Sylas was first released, I mean, that was the likes of Alistar. So there's so many things where this champions leave its mark in terms of not only what you have drafted for yourself, but in terms, of course, what the enemy has drafted too.
All right, well, Husha trying to grow to be the biggest tree this game. 2-0-1, already worth a little bit of extra gold at the start of it, but more importantly than that, strong enough to start this Herald up for Beyond Gaming. It has been the prized objective. People, again, have been delaying Dragons quite a lot. So happy to get this Herald, and very cleanly too. No contest here for DetonatioN FocusMe. Can't really force anything, so just going to have to give it away.
Yes, and there's not even any cross map coming through. No Drakes is taking. It's just the same usual farming. Evi had his lane pushed in, so he's going to go make a response, push the other one in. And I get always baited when I see the Amumu coming through here. Nope, they are most certainly looking for a fight.
Xenoblade happens, Yutapon still firing away, but again, Amumu not all that tanky from the support role, and they just go for it here. Level 6 on the Aphelios, that's so much damage, but Yutapon, he's found a turnaround, and now Minji in trouble as well. Steel and Yaharong teaming up. Ulti already used for Vex though. Q's gonna miss, and Minji zips on out of there using the Blast Cone.
Yeah, Minji no teleports, so he's not going to be able to get back to the bot lane or mid lane immediately. He is, however, going to be able to help his AD carry around, with Steel coming here. Both ultimates getting used.
Trading perhaps there. No flash for Steel. Has to walk back to the safe.
Here comes the tree.
The tree out there. Ulti already used. Very nice setup there. And DFM just too far forward. Steel goes down.
You know how it goes. You pick the tree, your game is free. And so far, Husha showing why that is. 2-0. And 2 on the Maokai, of course, now. Picking up his components. Leading forward with the Bambi Cinder. And it's looking good. You get priority now from the bot side. You can set up the Drake afterwards. And of course, you pick up the kills that you need.
Gonna get this crab as well. That dragon that you mentioned likely to follow. Husha just vibing here with the rest of the squad. I mean, Yutapon getting a kill is pretty nice down there, but Beyond Gaming definitely winning out in these early exchanges.
Yeah, let's have a look at how it started again, because it is just getting aggressive while you have the Danish gun available for Wako down here. Red and white, of course. And good predict on the side step from Kino, just setting it all up. And no level 6 on the Amumu just yet, so there's no counter response. We talked about how he can be a good disengager. This time around, he's not going to be the case. Then we can have the replay.
This looks awfully familiar, though. It's one kill already this time to DetonatioN FocusMe and Kino. Absolutely dead. Just walks straight into the turret, gives it away.
It's not the curse of the Sat Mummy, it's the revenge of the Sat Mummy, as Harp immediately strikes back on that bot side.
Evi
has ventured down in the mid lane.
Gonna keep on going here. Actually, the dragon we did think was gonna go to BYG is now DetonatioN FocusMe with that great bit of counterplay out of Harp, who hex flashes himself over into the dragon pit.
Likai does not have to teleport either, so no contest is going to be have here. And with Minji in the mid lane, yeah, he's just going to be forced to clearing ways against Yaharong. Great start from DFM. They strike back immediately in a game that was almost running away from them, with Herald as well being in the inventory of Beyond.
Yeah, still hasn't been popped yet. We'll keep an eye there on Husha and where that wants to go, but it was almost 1,000 gold ahead for Beyond Gaming the last time I checked. Now about 500 between the two, so Beyond feeling all right. Again, still have kills in good places between the Maokai and the Sylas, but Evi's starting to get a bit more active. Back to the top lane he goes. Harp obviously being 6 makes a huge difference as far as his effectiveness goes as a champion. And definitely making it known there in the bottom side. So we'll call it basically even here with DetonatioN FocusMe getting the first Drake, but to your point, definitely going to be a slower game, even though Beyond might be generally happy with that, as Likai is going to trade an ulti there away from Evi, who's maybe going to prance down the top lane, but decides not to pursue too aggressively.
Yeah, you know, 3/4 of that Rift Herald has dissipated now. You have to make a play soon with that. So far, they're looking in the mid lane. He does have flash. They want to look.
Still ulti Yaharong in there, but the Sylas going to follow up. The Everfrost, perfect timing on the finish of the mid-deck, and that's going to be a kill for Sylas. But Steel, can he make it happen? The tree going to be cut down a little bit by the ulti out of Trundle, but no follow-up kill as the Herald gets dropped mid.
A great response by Minji. He did not connect with the chains, but he did have that ultimate stolen away from the Vex. So Tree heals up with the Sap Magic too. Minji, can you get any plating here? No. All of it goes to Husha, but at least you chip some damage away from the mid lane turret.
Still, the biggest tree is on the table. It's going to be a little tankier than the very large AP tree we saw yesterday, but Husha's dream
I rated
of growing
face tree
by Yggdrasil is still on the table.
Oh, good one. Top side, pushed in, resets, coming through. Second Rift Herald, 2 minutes. But so far, not much to get in terms of the objectives. It is just going to be, can we look for any invades on any jungle camps if we're really looking for it? So far, it doesn't really look like anyone's going to tempt that fate. And we're still around the normal lane states these 12 minutes into the game.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I have not paid as much attention as one possibly could to how lane Lillia currently goes. But I am looking at Evi's items right now, and I'm trying to figure out what the first one's going to be.
I think he's looking for a Frozen Heart initially here, and then you just have that. It's cheap item, you're looking in to get some more ability haste, and that's really what matters. You want to keep the Qs going all the time. We've seen Lillias with either the Leandris in the top side to just keep the damage going over time, but we've also seen it with the Riftmaker to just become an unkillable off-tank.
Makes sense. Definitely has this interesting, like, mage fighter.
Yeah, exactly.
Situation.
It's like a Bruiser, but make it mage.
Yeah, and Bambi, as Evi's prancing down here against the Gnar.
But where's Bambi's mom? Out against some of the other animals we had in the esports scene.
Almost a spoiler alert. Don't look it up, kids. Still fighting Likai here in the top side. Husha actually going for the speedy tank item, Kim-Tech situation.
Steal around, no on vision, so if they overforce it, they could get punished here.
Yeah, it's kind of who goes in first. It is Harp to kick it off. Kai'Sa said, I mean, not unleashed just yet. Maokai ulti, my goodness, man, and Burnham looking like the pre-nerf version. Yutapon forced to ulti barely away, flashes as well, but that might not be enough safety because here comes Minji. Not going to complete the wraparound though, decides one's enough.
Yeah, close to get 2 kills there, but the big one was that Harp was not allowed to do, well, a single ability there. He just got CC locked completely by the Leona. Yutapon forced to use the cleanse as well, and they just straight up lose out on that fight. You can push in the Rift, or push in the bot lane now, move up towards the Rift Hell that's spawning in 10 seconds, and you'll know that Yutapon doesn't have the, summoner spells to really have a good fight against all the CC that Beyond has in that composition.
Yeah, Beyond Gaming looking really good here in this game. Again, pretty important win for them to get here, trying to break 500 as far as their opening games have gone 1-1. Bottom lane Tao is going to push that gold lead up to 2,500 and give Wako some extra gold, which always feels nice in the Aphelios. Just a big difference in effectiveness in the early game so far. Steel, at least try and get something back with this Rift Herald.
So with the late resets coming through from Beyond, they decided to pick up the bot lane turret and of course get some gold through that. It does allow DFM to set up for the Rift Herald first. You can see Beyond, they're still around the vicinity trying to look for a fight if they can get it, and Rift Herald's not dead yet.
Now it's dead, but can he get out safely? Harp still has ulti, by the way. Didn't use it in the last exchange, as noted. Does have Merc Treads now as well, so might find a few more windows to press the buttons, but DetonatioN FocusMe, just take the Herald and run away. No need to pick a fight for them.
Yeah, they can push in the mid lane. Drake is up in 20 seconds, so realistically speaking, you want to stay for one more wave before you really move down there. You need someone to respond to the bot wave as well. Steel just came off reset, and the big one that DFM has in their, repertoire at the moment is the fact that they can use the Rift Herald to get pressure, while on Beyond they have to use their prowess, the gold lead that they currently have to get that pressure.
Both top laners do have teleport, so can have everyone join it down here for the dragon fight if teams want to contest for it. Does look like they do, but Shrine already picked up there for Husha, has the speed, has the vision that can't be swept away, and cross first onto the dragon. Long TP.
That is a very long TP. This is going to be the longest play. Likai does read it.
They're done. Dragon over, BYG, very nicely done.
But I respect it for DFM, because if you have to call away from a play, you have to make a cross map elsewhere. They do it here. Likai, though, good presence of mind. And now,
Harp, though, with the okie doke here in mid lane. Kino going to be the target taken out by Yutapon. TP coming in for Beyond. Is there a counterplay here? 5v4 will be the team fight, but Wako unleashing already with the chakrams that can't quite find it, and one is going to be enough for DetonatioN FocusMe by the looks of things.
They're not going to be able to get another fight here. They pick up 1 kill. They get back to the lane stage. Top is still pushing in. Bot has waves to collect, and mid lane is under pressure from Beyond. Can they keep this mid lane turret alive?
Herald summon top side, actually. Yaharong maybe can escort that one in. They'll lose the mid outer as a result. But again, DetonatioN FocusMe doing a decent job trading. They were behind early, a couple thousand gold, just trying to make sure that they can keep the game kind of afloat, and maybe just lean on Yutapon, who is the shining light right now on this team. 3-1-2 on the Kai'Sa. We know he can take over on this champion.
Yeah, the problem for him right now is just the fact that team fights are so difficult to navigate, right? You're playing into Leona, you're playing into a Gnar, you're playing into a Maokai. It's not going to be fun for you. That one cleanse is not going to be enough. And because of that, you're so reliant of having every summoner spell up before you really commit to a big fight, because if you don't, you will just lose your AD carry, and with that, your main source of damage from the backline there.
Cricket is going to be Rift Maker, as you noted for Evi. Has the little stick in the inventory hanging out.
The Leeching Leer, chilling.
Leeching Leer, it is just chilling.
Yeah, weird how it's just, one item that only builds into another item. You only ever see it once. It's just vibing. Small void stuff.
Imagine if someone made an error. It's like, this item seems cool, I want these. And I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah,
it doesn't go anywhere.
But sir, it doesn't build into anything else. It doesn't matter. Put it in the game.
Has to commit to Rift Maker. Still there, grabbing the blue buff. Was kind of the only one around to really take it. So not too bad there, as Harp is in enemy territory. Maybe looking for a straggler. Husha is technically a target, but 2 items done. Very tricky to pin down. So tanky at this stage on the Maokai.
Oh, steal.
Ooh,
stealing away the red buff.
Hey, look at that. Hey, boss came out of the way.
And there you have it. That's the heist. The DFM heist coming through. They get the red buff. They're losing quite a bit right now, but let it be known that DFM has secured a red buff.
I mean, only 1,300 gold now. Like, they have definitely cut down the lead that Beyond Gaming were kind of building, and hasn't gotten out of control just yet. Obviously, Beyond will still feel happy, but DetonatioN FocusMe, they're just chilling. Like, they know they have to freeze the game a little bit. look for their opportunities, be pretty careful with the picks they find, because that's kind of a lot of what their comp does right now. Wait for Yutapon to maybe scale up and be so much of a problem that even all of this CC can't deal with him.
And it might look like not much is happening, but they're actually just handshaking on the map right now. At least they should be. You can see that on the bot side, DFM is allocating their members. What Beyond could do as well is move their members up towards the top side and get a turret for themselves. But they're kind of just chilling in mid lane. So DFM, they just get a turret for free here. And on the other side of the map, Beyond doesn't really get much. Still clearing waves.
Yeah, definitely a slower game, which we kind of did expect. And you said Beyond wouldn't mind too much. I think that's still the case as Minji.
The double sleep combo.
Pretty powerful, that's true. Sylas does get access to the ability to sleep, but will not connect onto Evi, who's just been kind of farming. I'm very curious to see what Lillia does in the later stages of the game. I thought maybe there was some specific lane counter-picking happening where Evi could try and abuse the 1v1, but that hasn't happened. Whether it's supposed to or not, I don't know. But Evi certainly will still be effective.
I don't blame you for that one.
Bruises.
I don't blame you for that one. But yeah, Evi likes to have his own counter picks ready and just picks in general to try and take charge on. But Lillia is still a champion that functions very well into the mid to late game. Once you really get your force of nature as well, you're just so fast. You run around, you pick up so much healing through all the spell ramp that you have in your kit. So if you don't blow it up immediately and you allow her to just run around with a passive on multiple people, it's super good in terms of setting up the rest of the team. And that's of course still what DFM have. There is a long range engage for them, which is just if you throw out the poppy seed and it hits someone while it's rolling down, that's already your main, that can already be a main engage.
Yeah, off meta, kind of bruisery champion that's a little different, runs around, disruptive team fights, does decent amount of damage. It's not that different to Urgot.
I mean, it is quite. They have multiple legs. They have more than 2 legs.
There we go.
I'll give you that one. That's the similarity I'll give you. Now the similarity between these two teams is that they most likely want to fight for the Drake that's spawning in 20 seconds. And as of right now, most of that vision actually favors Beyond. You can see it with the blue wards lit across the river and into the enemy jungle. And now DFM trying to come in and see what they can contest. Yaharong on the top side has that teleport. So does Likai if they would choose to contest this objective.
We haven't gotten the S-tier Hextech Rift this time around. Had a lot of those in the first 2 days, but Infernal, pretty good soul, pretty sweet Rift as both teams are scoring up, but no tower here in mid. But Detonation FocusMe means getting into the area is going to be tricky. Evi though showing up early, trying to see if he can get the party started.
The tree's fast.
Husha about to gate crash right through the front. There's the lock up there. Evi also rooted into the ulti. Everfrost following up. There's just so much CC. Can barely flash over the wall. And now Harp going back in, but again, already burnt the ulti. Leona getting Yutapon, but he cleanses out of there as Husha's on a rampage, getting 1 kill. Yutapon though, making it happen. Took out the enemy AD, taking over the fight. Detonation FocusMe. They found the angle in the fight, and Evi's still alive. That's going to be an ace at the end of the day. They break open this game.
And Evi just single-handedly bait the entire team, splits them up apart. One member goes over the wall, and immediately Harp sees the mode to engage with the Amumu. They pick the members apart, and Evi, he just prances and dances around that entire team fight. It's beautiful.
Watch it again. They don't need the dragon. They're running the Baron, but again, Evi just looks so dead here.
I hardly even care about what happens on the rest of this team fight. I just want to look at Evi running around the entire time. But I will have to say, once again, Harp getting a good team fight started off from one side of the team where they can pick up 3 members into the CC, allowing Evi to keep 2 members just baited around on the other side. And this is how split they become. You can see Minji not even in a position to deal damage right now. Kino can go in, but no one's around to facilitate it just because that the sleep has already come through from Evi. And he just keeps himself alive for so long. He is so infuriating to play against.
Yeah, you can see bouncing and prancing around, held the ulti there to ensure the team fight wipe. As that's a happy side on the Detonation FocusMe coaching squad. They know exactly what that means for this game. They were losing a few thousand gold. Now they've flipped the script completely back around, up 3,500 with plenty more gold to take, and of course this dragon on the menu as well.
Exactly, and now that Riftmaker also completed, so the amount of spell vamp that Evi is going to be able to deal out in these fights, or gain for himself rather, is going to be quite annoying to deal with. Still sitting on a lot of resistance, has 1 Mountain Drake, so amplified resistance on top of that, and now picking up some extra damage with the Infernal on. And the Baron buff still going.
Yeah, Rebel Baron power play should be looking pretty nice here for Detonation FocusMe, plus 1,200 or so right now. We're looking to make that number quite a bit bigger by the end of the duration. I have about 2 minutes left to split push with, which Evi is currently doing in the bottom half of the Rift. Also, the other thing that I realized kind of looking at the comp, because again, I was like, oh, it's a lane counter. Like, It's a weird Evi champion. He's picking it Gnar. Of course he's doing something. We'll hold that though, because Harp's already in there. Husha's the problem. Now it's Yaharong over the top with the Vex ulti, but they need to find a softer target. Aphelios still alive, lets the ulti go, gets one back. But can DetonatioN FocusMe turn around? A great Gnar ulti there out of Likai. He's going to push Evi in, but again, Bambi is still alive, running around, will not be slain.
He doesn't die.
Just will not die. Spoke too soon, does get shut down by Minji, but Yutapon's there to play janitor.
At least it's traded back there, but Evi just keeps the fight going for so long. Yutapon picks up a kill, and the siege can continue. HP bars decently low, half for Wako, half for Minji. And they're just going to back off here with 3 members still pushing forward onto the tier 2 turret. How far can they go?
Should be able to get at least this one more, get the gold even further in their favor. Although, it's now 3v3. Kai'Sa not the longest range AD carry in the league, so it's going to be a little tough to crack down this tower, but they have a little under a minute left to try and make it happen, so I think they'll stay, but looks like with a reset from Harp, perhaps Yutapon's just going to push in this wave and then leave it be.
But even without the Baron, like, the setup for DFM here is just there. And we'll get into that after we get this little replay through Beyond Gaming. They're still trying to regain control of their own side of the jungle here, but Harp is having none of that, and as soon as he sees Husha, he connects in it. It's not the best place to play into a chokehold of teams that can take away, you know, your own ultimates. If you get the Amumu ultimate on Minji, playing into a Mega Gnar. So this could have gone way worse from the side of DFM, but luckily they're still so far ahead. They find good sleeves once again from the side of Evi, and they're able to continue the fight.
Yep. And again, Evi just, wow, it's taking almost no damage from Aphelios. That first item, Frozen Heart, doing a good amount of work. And this is the part that I realized watching the last fight, is that it's like triple melee into this Lillia. It's so annoying to try and hunt down the person dancing around your front line.
You have to CC, but as soon as the CC no longer is there, she's so fast, and she'll be running away, and she'll be spell vamping up. Now, reason why I wanted to say that I still like the position DFM has in this game is that you almost have a tier 2 tournament that's broken. You have side lanes you're winning on now. Evi is pretty much going to get the first move from bot lane every single time. He can move up towards the top side. They can move up towards the top side themselves, collapsing on a wave that Yaharong is pushing in. Beyond should have nothing on the map to gain for themselves. The only thing they can look for is positions where DFM is overstepping and they can look for a fight. But in terms of clearing jungle camps, in terms of getting vision that's aggressive up towards the neutral objectives, you're not going to get it.
No, this is something DetonatioN FocusMe have done fairly well, both internationally and at home. Definitely feels like they're finding their stride, controlling the map nicely, and making sure to continue to extend their advantage slow and steadily as Maokai ulti maybe looking for a little bit of counterplay there, maybe just warding off a potential dive, but end of the day, it's 5,000 gold ahead for DetonatioN FocusMe, careening towards a potential Infernal Soul while still holding pretty much perfect map control.
And you can see it, the game is just slowly but surely falling apart right now from Beyond. They're not too sure how they actually stabilize, because truth be told, they can't when the lane matchup is just individual against each other, or 3 versus 3. You see it, Yaharong picking up a turret on the top side. Same for DFM on the mid lane, and now Evi is still in a position where when the resets come through, they can look for the bot side instead. And you just keep up this pressure, keep them occupied, push them as far back as you can, because there's 1 minute, or then you have another Infernal Drake to play for. After that, Baron is available and on the cards too, so DFM, they're just putting themselves in a prime position to take away this game.
Yeah, we'll see how Beyond react to the next fight. You pretty much must fight with this upcoming Infernal Dragon, so Beyond are going to be there in a minute's time as the team that will reset, put their vision down, and then square off. Obviously, not a fight you necessarily want to take because you are at a gold disadvantage, but you are kind of priced in as Beyond Gaming. We'll see if they can find the team, but they haven't quite been able to find yet with this comp.
Yep, desperate times call for desperate measurements, but question is, how do you find them? Just creating these bucket of visions could be a thing to go. Having sapling to play around with, just slowing the correct member, catching them off guard if you get Yutapon despite having cleanse. And the follow-up you have from the rest of the CC, maybe you can get a pick that puts you into a good position for a fight. But as it stands right now, once again, Beyond, you're just getting pushed back, right?
Yeah, big bottom lane is still being pushed up by Evi, so he has all this space opening up for the rest of his team. Actually being shadowed by Yutapon right now, which I kind of like. DetonatioN FocusMe wanting to maybe pick the fight first. Dragon a little bit more secondary, although they still have some time to fall back to it. But all this space, you can just see, I mean, basically look at the line of champions, and you'll see that DetonatioN FocusMe have just so much control over this next objective they're lining up, and they start it straight away.
Yeah, the big one as well is that you haven't hit the level 16 power spike just yet from the side of Minji. The same can be said from Yaharong too, but it's just really nice having on the Sylas when you're stealing away the likes of an Amumu ultimate to really make the difference. So finding that, potentially also the Void Staff to have that extra damage through some of the resistance could be crucial. But now, That was the best sleeping noise I could make.
I liked it. Also, I like the play from Evi, just like threatening, right? Steals maybe in the area, maybe Evi feels like if Aphelios is isolated, he can at least poke around and harass the enemy AD, but you just got to cleanse for that ulti. That is a cooldown in your favor.
Hey, yeah, most certainly, and you're happy about it, especially when Baron is going to be on the cards now. Still, the amount of vision control that DFM have, despite just having shifted from bot side up towards the top side, is still great. And Minji, ooh, long road to freedom.
So aggressive. Ooh, Everfrost flash! Insta-kill there for Yutapon, who goes godlike, and Harp with a very cute little outplay onto the enemy Sylas.
Now Minji does have that teleport, but he's dead for 43 seconds. Counter response comes through.
Yo, did ult, but he is going to live for now, Yaharong.
Oh, yeah.
Taking the Inferno, but Yutapon is now legendary. Going off in these fights, and DetonatioN FocusMe starting to really lean into that gold advantage.
Yeah, but now with 2 members dead, this is for sure Baron that's going to be picked up here. Game is officially out of grasp for Beyond here. It would take a massive mistake for DFM if they're going to throw this one away. Japanese representatives fighting back, looking to take charge in the group.
Yeah, a couple stumbles earlier on, but now 2-1. Now looking to make it 3-1. Sorry, 2-2. I cannot read numbers. Don't worry about it.
It's okay.
I got it right the first time, and then we looked, you know, it doesn't matter. DetonatioN FocusMe looking good.
You know, I'm a dropout. I suck at math. Don't worry about it.
Me also.
Yeah, but I think as well, from DFM, I think that had plagued them sometimes, especially when they have compositions like this that go forward, is that sometimes they would feel too pressured to go forward, and that would leave an opening for the enemy team to get back into the game because they would take a bad fight. But this time around, that hasn't really happened. They have really just been reserved. They've been waiting for the right moment. They've been playing by the book, picking up the objectives that they need, and they've been taking it slow, despite being a bit less exciting watching when it's not going fast. They're doing the correct things because they just have pushing lanes everywhere and they dictate whatever they want.
Yeah, they understand their comp, they understand the map state, and they're doing very nicely with it all. Little under 3 minutes until the dragon is back. That will be Infernal Soul if DetonatioN FocusMe can pick it up. But for now, it is time to keep on pushing with this second Baron buff. Evi is going to finally finish off the tower he started with a long time ago. Harp is just a frontline menace. He does not care what champions are in front of him. He is going to be threatening the enemy. And we've seen it. Like, Yutapon can join from the next game.
Oh, yeah.
With that Kai'Sa ult.
Almost definitely 2 games away, potentially, if he wants to. And now playing on 2 lanes, Baron buffed off down towards the bottom side. 2 cannons to play for. Going to be difficult to clear these away. Not too long range. Coming through from the side of Beyond. 5 members actually from DFM down here. Could potentially have 1 in the mid lane just to create some more pressure. This is easy to deal with. They need to broaden the pressure.
Yeah. Nice little pillar there again, trying to kick people away. Evi not the easiest target, by the way. Does have tanky items, but actually going to get stunned up and killed. They found the angle, but the counter kill is there. Harp a little low, but he goes into stasis. Still dies, though, to the enemy Aphelios. Wako maybe on for the Penta. There's the triple, making it look good. DetonatioN FocusMe may have thrown things away, but Yaharong gets a counter kill. Still the ace is on the table. Yaharong fighting for his life, but will not get out of it. Oh my goodness, got 1 more, but only 1 more. Beyond Gaming find the ace.
But still a massive mistake for DFM to be ace there. As we said it, they could have broadened the pressure. They had the Baron buff. They had so much to play around with. Top lane was pushing in. Mid lane too slow. And it all comes down from just members being caught off guard by some great CC being amplified. Epi steps too off. He disrespects the amount of damage that can come through should he be knocked down on the turret. Harp with the follow-up to try and save his top laner, but it's too late. It's just setting the rest of Beyond up for the damage that they need.
Bramble smash, man. Like, Twisted Advance is pretty good as far as CCs go, but he went, like, almost to the fountain with that smash.
And we said it, for Beyond to come back into this game, DFM needed to make a big mistake. Even then, we said at times they felt pressure to just commit. Going down 5 members in the bot side was definitely not the right play to make there with Baron.
No, and for a game that has been relatively mistake-free, at least major mistake-free from DetonatioN FocusMe, that is a big loss to take. Lose all of your Baron pressure, lose all your Baron buffs. Now you got to get back out of the map and play for the soul. You're still ahead a significant amount of gold, but this Aphelios, not quite 4 items, but so if left unchecked.
So what do we have to play around with here? We get Yutapon with Cleanse and Flash still up and available, ultimate there too. Minji's missing his Flash. The same can be said for Likai. Well, on the other side, Epi still has his available, so there's definitely points of attack to go for here that would make the fight a bit more difficult, but Beyond is in a position where they can actually contest. No inhibitors has fallen, so they're out of the map without being punished.
Yeah, Harp actually getting marked there by Sylas. Was trying to look for a flank, but Minji going to do a good job clearing out a lot of the vision, trying to set up for this next objective. Dragon has now spawned, but DetonatioN FocusMe currently in mid, trying to get themselves some prio around this next objective. They know this soul is basically game if they get it.
Up on the flank here.
Ooh, Harp still going for it, went all the way around, but again, maybe a little too far, gets his ulti stolen, gets picked off, and now Yutapon going in, but is that a little bit too far? Gets himself stone flushes out of the way, Yutapon kills everyone, barely stays alive, but the ulti out of Aphelios is gonna get the kill, and Wako still alive, firing away. The AD carries critically for both sides, still here, but it's a 3v2 now, as Evi just will chase them down forever, and Aphelios will finally be felled at the end of the day. Yutapon on a killing spree gets it done, and Detonation FocusMe answer ace for almost ace.
So close, Yutapon showing up there in that team fight as well, finally coming through. Epi as well with a massive sleeve, and just sewn in Beyond's AD carry away from any access to the fight. 30 seconds on both members, 10 seconds on Kino, 15 on Husha. Don't know if they can end here, but they'll certainly look for it. Yeah. And they won't.
Fainting away, I thought so too. Can't blame you, but again, falling back to the Dragon, Steel still alive critically. At the end of all of that, Husha dead for 3 seconds, so it could be out on the map. It's going to be a tight one to get this Dragon, but they've got, I think, enough DPS and, of course, their jungle to secure this objective.
Yeah, I think you just have to forfeit the Infernal, so right here, if you are Beyond, it feels horrible, but that's the reward to Detonation FocusMe after winning that fight in the red side jungle, and this will only make matters worse for Beyond.
Again, Yutapon had all the sums up, 11, 2, and 10 on this Kai'Sa full build. GA got popped as well in that fight. Let's see how it went down.
It looks bad initially. It looks like a classic where they overpressure and they lose, because Harp is almost just instantly rooted up and dead. At least he gets forward and gets an ultimate on towards Wako here to kind of nullify him, have the rest of the members come in. And that really sets up the fight, because that means he's not really peeled as easily as he would have before. Big from Epi as well with the big sleeve there that you saw in the team fight that allowed the rest of the members to come through. And Minji doing his best to find the kill on Yutapon, but it's just not enough. He's still burning away from the Leandris coming through from Yaharong, and Wako once again not in a position to really just deal with Yutapon on this Kai'Sa.
Yeah, only one last bullet needed there. Likai does at least get away, but Evi coming up big in that team fight once more with the Lillia ulti, even with Harp going down in what was basically a 4v5 for Detonation FocusMe, with Harp going down so early. But back around Baron we go. Vision is going to spot them. Beyond Gaming can't really face check, but might not have very many other good options either.
That is unfortunately the case for them right now. And as DFM, you just start this up. You just say, come into us. We're waiting for you with open arms. And I mean, there's not much beyond.
Yeah.
Right? You walk forward, you most likely die. The same problem is that you give them Baron, you most likely lose the game at the same time. And it's all going to come down to one miracle fight. DFM, while it has been a little sloppy, looking to put a finish to this one now.
Yeah, end of the game. Definitely not as clean as Detonation FocusMe would have liked, but all else it ends with the enemy nexus exploding. DFM, see if, you know what, last time this happened on the bottom side, it went wrong, but they're on the top side now, so surely it's going to be the opposite result.
That was the difference they needed, right. Now, 5 versus 5, they're still not having a push coming through, and I wonder if they learned from their mistakes that maybe push on 2 lanes instead of the 5. Yaharong making his way into the mid lane and keeping that pressure active as well with super minions pushing in from the bot side. I think that's really what they need, but they've decided to slow it down for now.
Yeah, Evi grabs a stopwatch. Pretty good little tool there for what should be the last fight of the game. The Detonation FocusMe need to find. In fact, more resets here. Yaharong going back as well. Gets his final item. The full builds for the carries, like, not going to get much better here for Detonation FocusMe. You don't need many more advantages.
Even Yutapon has that extra QSS, right? So it's like, am I forced to burn the cleanse? Great. I have another one coming up. So he should really never be touched unless everyone just gets access to the backline, which will be very difficult with the amount of havoc that Evi has been able to deal on towards them in the front lines.
Yutapon trying to sync up waves, it looks like, here with Evi. So they are going to get 2 lanes pushing. Still a minute 30 left on Baron, so plenty of waves to play with.
Slowly but surely. Quiet before the storm. They're just chipping away from the turrets. They have cannon minions coming through. They have the possibility to roam in. They have a bot lane that's shoving in with super minions. Patience is the name of the game here. Make one mistake. That's what Beyond's looking for to capitalize on.
You see Yaharong kind of behind the control wall between the 2 lanes. Can ulti in to a play pretty easily. If Beyond Gaming want to go for something here. And Evi, of course, very fast naturally on the Lillia. So Minji going to be forced to move over for the wave. That's going to move Detonation FocusMe in. No minions, unfortunately, but the wave is coming in, and the super minions are also starting to hit down bots. So definitely a much better split here with this Baron buff.
Yep, it's like they were allowed to learn from their mistakes, and they're not allowed to do the same thing again here. But They're continuing with it. Beyond stepping up, but they're feeling the Infernal Drake damage.
That's a really nice pillar, but DetonatioN FocusMe maybe could have got something there, but decided not to overcommit, which I can commend given the situation. We are getting kind of late, and the pressure is mounting. Evi does finally break through mid.
Bot lane inhibitor minions finally coming through there with the supers. That allows Evi to break open the mid, and now he's a pawn in the side of top lane. Surely the next push. Where we see DFM get aggressive, even Yutapon now. Still feeling some damage from Wako.
Yeah, gotta flash the ulti coming from Aphelios. Good curse to stab Mummy though, as the pincer should be complete. Yaharong moves something with the ulti, gets the fear down. Kino's low, but he's not out just yet. They need to get the carries here. Steel low is gonna go down to Husha. And Yutapon, maybe a big error, goes in, pops the QSS on a rampage now. He's dead. Kill the Maokai, but he does die to Likai. And Harp is gonna go down as well. They haven't got Aphelios. Evi is trying to make it happen. He gets to sleep. Yaharong moves in for the double kill. And DetonatioN FocusMe a touch messy at times, but a win's a win as they should take it here against Beyond Gaming.
Likai still alive. HP's now down to 50% for both of them. But I'm not sure he can do too much about this. They should just be cleaning house here.
All right, Evi with the Lillia, with the style pick, is going to end the game for DetonatioN FocusMe. Definitely a little dicey at times, but they win and even up their score. 2-2 now here at Worlds.
DFM, they get it done.
Double thumbs up.
Lillia top, how do you like it?
I like it a lot in the team fight, to tell you that much.
Definitely had a bigger impact there than what we saw from the laning phase, but takeaway probably was that it was clean in the mid game for DFM. The way they approached the entire map with lanes pushing in, getting objectives. Picking up that Baron, that was the tough part. Closing the game, that was the tough part for them.
Here's some Evi chants in the crowd, though. You love to hear it from the locals watching in Mexico City here. A crowd favorite, a international powerhouse. It's a player we love to see so often, and thankfully, due to how good they are domestically, we see them a lot.
Shout out to that one Mexican fan that kept screaming his name.
That was the best.
I miss you.